Hello, hey, hi, thanks for stopping by. So this video is super exciting for me because if you've been around, you know that I'm mostly a fitness-based channel, but I'm doing my first travel vlog. I guess it's a vlog, travel video today. So that is something that is definitely a big part of my life. My husband and I love to travel and we like to camp and backpack and just see the beautiful parts of the world, but I've never really made a video about it before, so if you guys like these, please let me know because I would love to continue filming stuff like that. But if not, that's cool too. So we went to Yosemite National Park. We have been to a lot of different places. We saw Havasu in Arizona, Havasupai. I think we've been to all of the national parks in Utah, maybe except like one. Zion, Capitol Reef, what am I missing? Bryce Canyon. Anyway, moral of the story, we've seen some really beautiful places. We've seen the northeast coast in the fall, which is gorgeous. We're from the Midwest, so we've seen a lot of the Midwest, and we've done quite a bit of traveling in the last 2 years that we've lived here. And I have to say, I don't want to discredit anything we've seen because it's beautiful, but I don't think I've ever quite been as in awe as I was at Yosemite. Like, the size and depth of the granite walls, it's just insane. It was amazing. I felt so small and yeah, it was just amazing. I don't even have words for it. But I did kind of want to just talk a little bit about our time there and kind of what happened and yeah, just kind of go over our travel story. So what we did was we did spend 3 nights, 3 days in Yosemite backpacking. So we had everything that we needed on our backs, and we started at the backpackers campground the first night and then like officially started backpacking through Yosemite the next morning. So the plan was the first day to go about 10 miles and get to like a mile from El Cap, and that way we would be near a water source that, foreshadowing here, was supposed to be there. And we were going to camp there next to the water source and then get up super early and go catch the sunrise on top of El Cap. And then the next day we would travel over to an area where we would have a really nice view of Half Dome, and then the third day backpack out of Yosemite. So that was the plan, and here's what happened.
You guys have an artificial tree, or it's like that's L M.
Yeah. Babies, adolescents, teenager at the big guy.
So we did see some water sources about, I want to say it was like 4 miles in, but we were still pretty full, at least we thought we were, and we didn't really feel like we needed it. There were like 2 more spots that were supposed to have water, so we kept backpacking through. Oh my gosh, even just this trail to get to El Cap was so freaking gorgeous. Just the biggest trees, the biggest sequoias, like you had to look like all the way up to like see the trees. It was beautiful. There were these huge trees that had kind of fallen over, so you just really got to see like how big they were. And also Yosemite is black bear country, and so the whole time I like had my eyes peeled because I wanted to see a bear so bad. But we'll get to that. Like I said, completely gorgeous, all the way to El Cap. So we get to a spot, I believe it was like 7 miles in, where there was supposed to be a water source and it was dried up. And so at that point, we were with our 2 friends and they're pretty experienced backpackers. And so at that point, I could kind of start to sense that they were worried, because they figured if that was dried up, then the source that we wanted to camp next to of water was also probably dried up. So I'll show those clips right here. Plot twist. So we got to where we were going to camp, and there was no water in the creek, which was going to be our water source. So we're going to go ahead and head up to the top of El Capitan, conserve the water that we have, eat drier food tonight, and pray that the next falls has water. Which is, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but there are fires going on in California right now. I mean, you could be watching this a year from now. So there are fires going on in California right now. Yosemite was actually shut down for a few days, and we already had this trip booked when it got shut down. So we were a little nervous. Our trip was going to get canceled. I think the park had only been open for a few days before we actually got there. So the first day it was still really smoky, which you can see from a lot of these clips. Definitely on top of Eeekkk, we could really see the magnitude of the smoke in the park. It was definitely eerie. It was definitely sad, but in a weird, eerie way, it was kind of cool too. We saw something that a lot of people aren't going to see, and we were able to witness it. And I don't know, it felt cool to kind of see it for myself and have empathy for what California is going through right now. So we got to Eeekkk, experienced the view, which was amazing. Between the 4 of us, we had 3 liters of water, so about 1.5 liters of water per person. If you've ever camped or backpacked, you know that is not a lot. Not a lot at all, especially since most of our food required water to cook it. We definitely would have been okay for like another day with like more of our dry foods, but we would have been in trouble. Not like death, but we would have definitely been uncomfortable by the end of the trip if we didn't find more water. We're like, okay, we think the smartest thing to do from here is to keep going as far as we can. We're clearly hydrated right now because we've had most of our water, so like let's just keep going and get as far as we can. So we kept going, and 1 mile, I don't even think it was a mile, maybe like 3/4 of a mile past Eeekkk, we found the tiniest drip of water, little tiniest drip of water coming from the ground. It was just a natural random spring, not on the maps or anything, and we were all like, yes, water! So that was really exciting. We actually got to filter water with our water filtration system for the first time, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, we filtered a bunch of water, kept going. We were a little bummed that we didn't get to stay on Eeekkk, especially since water ended up being only 3/4 of a mile past it, but it was like all downhill, and we had already done like 12 miles, I think, at that point, so we really didn't want to trek back uphill back to Eeekkk, so we just kept going. And I'm really glad that we did, because you'll see the campsite we had for technically night 2, but night 1 of actually backpacking was gorgeous. Definitely a great plan B. There was still smoke there, but it wasn't quite as noticeable as in Eeekkk. And when we woke up in the morning, most of the smoke had cleared out, and it was so gorgeous. Oh, I live for like coffee with that type of view. Like, it is the best. So we woke up. This was our second day backpacking. I think we did 11 miles on the second day. We did about a total of 35 over the 3 days. I think it was about like 12, 11, 12. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So pretty big days each day.
See everything?
Yeah.
So beautiful. Alex, what are we doing?
Just hiked to the top of Eagle
Peak.
Peak.
Is this the best view you've ever seen?
It is. This wins.
This wins. It's pretty sick.
For sure wins.
So the second day we get to our view of Half Dome, and this is where like when I talked about seeing this depth of these walls and just feeling a way I don't think I've ever felt seeing nature. This was the coolest campsite, the coolest view ever. Pictures and videos just can't do it justice, but I'm going to try. Pretty steep climb up, and that was the reward. As if the view wasn't spectacular enough, we ended up getting like the coolest sunset in the world that night, which I have like a million video clips of because I kept videoing it, and then like 5 minutes later it would look even cooler, so I'd video it again, and then 5 minutes later it was even cooler. So that was really neat. Yeah, best night backpacking ever. Everything was worth it. Running out of water, almost running out of water. We didn't technically run out. Having a water scare, everything was worth it for that view. Oh my god, it was amazing. So yeah, we enjoyed that camp. Luckily we got there pretty early. I think we got there by like 3:30 or 4ish, I want to say. So we were able to enjoy it for quite a while. As soon as the sun goes down, we're usually pretty exhausted, so we went to sleep. And actually Alex ended up waking up in the middle of the night at that campsite, and so it kind of woke me up, and I just wanted to like peek out and look at the stars, and oh my gosh, it was just the clearest night. You could see the Milky Way still. I grew up in a small town in Missouri where you could see the stars pretty well, and I just have never seen a night sky like this before. Like, it was just 360, pitch black amazingness. It was so cool, so cool. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. We woke up the next day, backpacked out, and we were about 2 miles from our car when I heard this. So like the whole entire time I was like eyes peeled for a bear, like I said, right? And so like I heard this like voice. Literally sounded like it was coming from my head. It's bear up on your left, but there was no one around us. So I was like, did I just like subconsciously hear that because I've been wanting to see a bear this whole time? Like, that was really weird. So I keep walking, and sure enough, I look to my left and there's a bear. It was like, it wasn't a baby cub, but it wasn't full grown. It was like probably somewhere, I would say like a couple years old. Cutest thing in the whole world. He like looked right at me and then like jumped up onto like a fallen tree. I tried so hard to get a video, but I just couldn't. I might insert a clip because it was kind of cute whenever we saw him.
Shay, you got to see a bear. It's a little tiny thing.
I couldn't get him on film, unfortunately, but I was so excited. I saw my bear, saw the most amazing views, and it made the trip. So in Yosemite, because it is black bear country, you do have to keep all of your food in a bear canister, and you're supposed to cook and keep your food away from where you're going to be sleeping because bears can smell really well. You know, if you accidentally like drop any food while you're cooking or anything, that puts you at risk of bears being up in your camp at night, and you don't want that. I mean, I don't know, I might think that's pretty cool, but we're not trying to die, all right. So yeah, that pretty much sums up this travel vlog. We've been backpacking a few times, so we're definitely not experts by any means, but I feel like we do have a little bit of experience with some longer backpacking trips. So I can definitely link stuff below on like some gear that we use, the tent we use, and all that sort of stuff. If you're interested, that will be in the description. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you liked this, or if you're a adventurer yourself, hit me up in the comments and let's talk. Where is the coolest place you've been? All right, bye guys.